Hi guys, so I have cups with me here today, but before we get into what I'm recording about, um, one, we are in real life, so this is my second time recording because it didn't go as planned the first time with a QuickTime recorder, so real life. Um, so let's see. Last week we worked on the tape video and we just talked about how the tape video is just something that you have in your home and that we want to continue off of that model of having something in your home, and that these videos that I'm doing are just for pure coaching. They're also something to fall back on. You know, for example, hey, I'm seeing this milestone come about, and I want to know how to support it more. That's where I can come in and say, hey, well, I have a video, if you'd like, and want me to share with you, and then this is, you know, where you could go from there. So with cups, I did get this off of the early intervention website for Northwestern University. So, and that is a great website that I've been talking about because it really does provide a lot of at-home items. It does have toys in there and, you know, cool gadgets, but sometimes the best are something you have at home. So, we know that I've been breaking play up to simple, combination, and then imaginative play. They on their website they call it advanced play. I don't like to attach those words. So, but at the simple stage of play, and we'll talk about where we're at, where we feel comfortable setting your child up at. But that's going to be, you know, you take cups and you just build. You build a pyramid, you build whatever it is, you know that you want, you know, and as you're building, you are, you know, saying up, up, up. You are going up. You are saying on top. You are labeling maybe the color of the cup. You are requesting more. You know, if you have the cups and your kiddo is building, this is a good opportunity, you know, where, you know, I have 3 cups attached here. I don't know if you can see. But this is a good opportunity at that point, you know, to go more, and then kind of wait for that eye contact, wait for that engagement piece, and then model more. Give them about 10 seconds an opportunity to process and to model. A lot of the time we don't take account into the sequencing and the planning that goes on in our children's heads as they are modeling, imitating, or talking. So we want to give them that time. After 10 seconds, we want to make sure they have to talk. So talking could be them actually modeling after you more, but talking could also be talking could also be pointing at the cups and you saying more cup and then giving it to them. And then the last resort is that it's the most intimate, but it's the hand over hand signing of more. So that's what we want to do. As the cups are falling down, you know, you could say boom or ready, set, go. And then talk about crash. Give them that indication if you want them to start saying go. Give them that indication that, okay, I'm ready for you to say go. So ready, set, and then there's that 10 to 15 second pause for them to say go. If they're really not saying go, that's when you can, you know, kind of touch their mouth and have their other hand touch your mouth so that they feel the language. That's a really important philosophy, is feeling the language, feeling the sounds. So that's one thing for you to do. You know, as you're building the up, 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 or just the up, We talked about boom, we talked about crash, we talked about more, we, talked about do we want to do it again? And setting it up again. So we want to do all of that. And then, sorry, we have people in and out. And the cat too, so that's why I am pausing at times. So that's your simple stage of play. We also have the combination stage of play. At this stage, you can be putting items in. So, I'm gonna take the cap of my pen. I'm gonna put it in. If you want to take buttons, pom-poms, whatever it is, and you can just do the shake, 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 and then out. Ready, set, out. Go, 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 go. All gone. So you could work on that. You could work on just, preparing your cup of things that you want to dump out. So, saying in, or you could be labeling what you're putting in. But we're going to talk about, are you constantly repeating in, or are you at the labeling of what you're putting in? And then, but when you're dumping it out, wait for that reciprocal, or that chance to be reciprocal with your kiddos. So don't, I don't recommend, just out. I like to put it up here, and then, have the child kind of look, and that's where you can do the show, hold, give. So, cup, here, you hold it. And then, let them play around with it, and then, my turn, give it. And then they give it to you, and you go, ready, set, go. So now you've engaged them because you've allowed them to touch, feel, and manipulate and engage with the object that you guys are playing with. So that's at the dump and play stage, and then you're adding that language, as I just described. But you can also, put things in, not without the kiddo knowing, so, what you put in, but you want to have given them an opportunity to know what their guesses are. So you could say, okay, I have a cap. You could have some pom-pom balls, so you can label poms. And then, maybe you have buttons, so you say buttons. And, or maybe you cut paper, and you say paper. Or maybe you put crayons in there, and you say crayons. So I wouldn't have a lot out, because we don't want to cognitively overwhelm our kiddos with having, 5 to 6 objects out. Because at that point, with this activity, when they're guessing what's in it, there's room for a lot of guesses that aren't correct. And when you're, constantly guessing and you're constantly incorrect about your guesses, you kind of lose motivation to play. And so do our kiddos. If someone says, hey, guess what happened, and you're constantly guessing and guessing, they're like, no, that didn't happen to me. No, that didn't happen to me. You're kind of like, okay, just tell me what happened to you. I don't want to keep being wrong. So, name at least, I would say 2 to 3 things that you, different categories of things that you would put in. So you could have buttons, poms, and a cap, let's say. And you name these things for your kiddo, either 2 or 3. Buttons or poms, or, all 3. And keep them behind you. And then, you fill them in, and then you shake, shake, shake. Oops. Shake, 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 shake. Ready? Let's guess what's in here. Surprise! And then that's when and we'll talk on the phone, are they labeling what's in there? When you say, what is it? Tell me. And are you labeling, or are you doing the I see? So, and then if you're at the labeling stage where you're labeling and they're pointing, like, that's that serve. So now they've served you with an opportunity, saying, yes, I see what's in there. but I'm not sure what's in there. So now they've served you with an opportunity to talk to them. So now you say, cap. And then you talk about it. You could say that it's purple. You could say that it's small, whatever. Then you talk about it. And then you kind of give it to them. You let them hold it, play around with it. And then you say, okay, my turn. And then you start the game over again. But, so there was that serve and return. They pointed, and you returned it by naming the object. And then, you can continue to name the object as they're holding it. And then you implemented that show, hold, give strategy. But if you're at the IC, in both ways, whether you're labeling or at the IC stage, you want to do this 8 to 10 times. You need several trials for them to just become confident modeling after you. You want to have the chance to redo some of the objects. So, say they didn't label cap, they didn't try to imitate that, or you feel like you want to kind of more repetition with that. So you want to have the ability to do it a couple times, and each time to give them that opportunity to label. So it's all, repetition is key. And even if they're at the IC stage, if you want them to kind of start, even saying C, you have to give them that confidence and that repetition and several trials for them to become ready to say it. So that's just at that combination stage. You can also, with this, put these two together like this, and you can tape it around. And I would not put rice in your cups just because of what I'm about to say and the mess that you want to avoid. So whatever in here, I'm going to put my cap in here. You hear that? Do you hear? Let's put your ear next to it. And they're pointing. Now they're pointing. So now they're serving you with an opportunity, and you have to return it now with shake. Yes. Shake, 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 shake. And now you talk about it. It's making noise. It's loud. And then you let them hold it. And then they give it to you. And you get up and you model some dance moves. And then you let them do it. And then you're modeling dance moves. So now you're creating rhythm, which is going to keep your kiddo a little more regulated, because rhythm keeps their cognition and our mind more regulated, more organized and calm. And now you've got them engaged. Now you're playing songs. Now you're going, yay. Now you're sequencing movements. And we know that physical development, if you're up and moving, it drives that cognitive development. Now you can stomp to this. Now you can give one-step commands. If you're shaking and say, stop. You could also do stomp. You could do clap, clap, clap. So you can also beat on the cups. But you can give them those one-step commands. And then they'll have an opportunity to copy you. So maybe for this time you can have 2 made so that they can copy you too, model after you. And then you continue to do this. And this is a perfect opportunity to involve siblings. Your siblings, they can help make this with the little kiddo. They can dance. They can have some fun too. And the thing is, when your little kiddo sees their sibling doing something away from them, they're kind of more interested, even if they're doing homework, they're e-learning at the table, your kiddo's still more interested in, what's my brother or sister doing, even if it's homework. And you over here are planning this great fun dance activity. They still want to be over where their brother and sister are. So this is an opportunity for their brother or sister to come over to them and participate with them. What you can also do, in addition to the rattle or the instrument, is you can poke holes like at the bottom, or you can poke holes around. It's a little easier in a styrofoam cup, but you can do it in this. And you can work on threading, like yarn, string, pipe cleaner. Yeah, yarn stringer, pipe cleaner. And you just, work on threading. So you're working on fine motor skills. They can pick what they want to thread. They can pick the color of what they want to thread. And then you're going through out, out, out. Yes, you did it. And then, giving them multiple turns to do that. They can do that. Another thing you could do is do telephone. So you could put 1 cup to their ear and 1 cup to your ear. Or your child might want to do telephone like this, like up to their mouth. And do that. See if they'll, be flexible to move play over to the other ear. But if they're just, for this first time, just really rigid and they really want to do it, like this, then do it like that. And then maybe later or the next day you kind of say, I wonder if he'll be a little more open to the expansion of play. Let me try right here. But in this, have a reciprocal conversation if that's the stage of play that you're at. Or make silly sounds. Make animal sounds. Non-speech sounds, as we just say, like those oral motor ones, like where you're doing raspberries or la la la. Anything like that. That'll be fun. So that's at the combination stage of play, and there's so many ideas, so feel free to get creative. And then at the imaginative stage of play, you can cut out little garages, like garage doors here, and play with cars, imitate car sounds, give those one-step commands where they don't really understand that they're commands because they're intertwined in play, like stop, go, stop, go. Those are commands, but your kiddo doesn't know that they're commands. Because they're so intertwined into play that they're kind of like, oh, I'm just playing. I'm not listening to commands. You can line up stuffed animals and have a tea party. You could talk about what you're pouring in here. Those are all at the imaginative stage. You can make a birthday hat out of them and, sing happy birthday. But the most important thing when you're doing this activity is, or if this is an activity that you'd like to try out, is that you are following their lead. So, for example, I gave one idea at the simple stage of play, but you can roll this cup too, right? You can roll it back and forth. So if your kiddo starts like that, like for example, you decide, I really like the idea of threading things through the cup. I really want to work on his fine motor skills. I really want to work on his hand-eye coordination, and we can put some language through it. Okay, great. So you bring your cup, it's got the holes, you say your pipe cleaners or your string, and you're ready to present this activity, and your kiddo's like, nope, not going to do that. But when you did give the cup, or when he saw the cup, he was interested. He was interested because cups are not the typical thing that are found in playrooms or toy bins, right? They are novel. Your kid knows of cups. Your kid has seen cups. But your kid is not an everyday occurrence to play with cups. So it is novel in that sense. But your kid is looking at it. But when you're wanting him to thread through, he's really just like, look, I don't want to do it. And this is where you don't give up on the activity. Follow his or her lead. So they see holes through it, and they're kind of like, well, interested, looking. That's a serve. Hey, I'm interested in what you presented to me, yeah. But it's, how do you return it? So if they're interested, they're pointing, they're kind of gasping, their face looks almost questioning, you can always say, cup. And then, you could talk that it's squishy. Squishy. It has holes. You could look through and do, I see you. I see you. So now you've showed it. You've gained some language. You did the serve and return there. But now let them hold it. Say, here, hold it. Let them experiment with it. When they're done experimenting with it, you kind of say like, oh, give it to me. And then that's where you start with introducing the threads. So you don't have to right away bring the activity to the way that I described it. You don't have to set it up right away. You can have the materials behind you or next to you. So when they're done experiencing or experimenting with the cub, they've kind of gotten their sensory learning intact, then you can start the activity. And then it's a little more interesting, like, oh, now I know what I'm playing with. Because sometimes when we introduce an object and it's novel, or we're kind of directing way of play, they're kind of like, yeah, but I want to know more about this. So always follow their lead and then see if they're flexible. And the first day, they might be really rigid in play, where they kind of just want to touch it, maybe shake with it, and it's not at all what you expected your kiddo to do with it. And maybe the second day, they're willing to expand on play because they've had an experience with it. But I think when we follow their lead, we kind of get more ideas of where they're at. Like, I've seen a lot of kiddos show me much more of their ability when I have kind of let them not take full reign, but kind of just take some reign of our play scenario. So that's that for the activity, and we'll talk about we'll come up with a joint plan of how it's going to be best for you to support this activity for your kiddo. But and we'll talk about these apps on the phone, but there are some apps I've come across. Moo Boo La La is a speech app. And I have brought books over, but that's a speech app. And then the PBS Kids app is also a good one. So with that, I look forward to talking to all of you and seeing the activities you've done, the work you've done, and also if you tried this one out.